Hello, and welcome to the Dexter Loves Annie podcast. My name is Kat. I am coming to you from Buckinghamshire in England. Annie is over the other side of the room for a change and not pestering me for food. This is a craft podcast, mainly knitting, anything to do with fibre really, but I do some other bits as well. But I think it's just knitting and spinning today. I'm not going to get through loads. So it's been a while since my last podcast. If you are a regular, you'll know from my previous podcast and the short that I put up that my dad got rushed to hospital towards the end of January. He was there nearly 4 weeks and he didn't make it. So it's been a hard time. Funeral is a week on Friday. Just trying to get through everything. There is so much to do, so much admin. He also had a house in France, which I haven't even really started on. I got approved for a bank account over there so that I can pay the bills that need to be paid. Just wind that up and get that sold too. So it's been a lot, and it's going to be a lot for weeks to come. So I apologise. I never had a regular schedule for podcasting anyway, but it's probably going to be even less regular. But this is nice to do. This is fun to do. I love talking to you guys. I always appreciate you guys hanging around and watching and commenting and engaging. And it really makes my day. So thank you, those of you who are here. So I'm going to get into it because we don't need that stuff, do we? Okay, so I have a whip. You won't have seen these for a while because they live upstairs. These are usually my bedside knitting. I wake up and instead of just doom scrolling on the phone, I try and do at least half an hour on these a day. They haven't come up as quickly as I'd like, but that's probably because I'm doing like the odd half an hour on them. But they're just plain vanilla socks. The yarn is Christmas at Barbie's. Where's the thing? Here we are. So Christmas at Barbie's by Bird Street Yarn. No, that way. Bird Street Yarn. Don't know if they're doing this colourway anymore because it was for Christmas. But it's 4-ply sparkle, merino, nylon, and stellina, which is the sparkly stuff. So you can totally see. No, it's not coming through very well there, but yeah, it's totally sparkly. So they're nearly done. They're shorties, and then when they're done, the pink is a Drops. It's in there somewhere. Drops Fable pink number 102. When they're done, I'm going to do toe up, and I'm just going to go till it's gone because I've got quite a lot of yarn left. The cakes had a weird end to it. I'm going to do toe up 2 at a time, and I'm going to use this single that I had. This was out of a advent 2 years ago. Yarn Whisperer. It's almost all pink apart from the odd splat of blue in there. You can't even see it on the ball, but there's occasionally a tiny splat of blue. So toes and cuffs will be that colour next time, because this Drops Fable is, it's a great yarn, and actually I quite like a bit of scratchy yarn on my feet. I don't know why. Maybe I'm weird. Tell me if you like that too. Make me feel less weird. But yeah, I'm going to use the other stuff because it just, I don't know, it feels against the lovely hand-dyed soft merino, although the stellina makes it, excuse me, hiccups, stretchier. This feels very budget next to that. which it actually is. And there's no shame in that. But I'd like something comparable. I don't know whether that made any sense. That might be the theme for today. Okay, so that is that done. So yeah, what I was trying to say, I'm going to do a toe up pair and make them as long as I need to. And just use the rest of the yarn. I don't know if I showed you this. Probably didn't, because I was knitting it while Dad was in hospital. So this is another spinnaker beanie. Let's pull the thing down. The yarn's slightly darker in real life. But yeah, it's to match my, I've got a sort of a red coat. It's to match that. I think I have shown you this before. But it's in Rowan brushed fleece. It's really lovely yarn, actually. Yeah, it is a lot darker than this in real life. That's coming out quite red. It's sort of more of a maroon. 65% wool, 30% alpaca, 5% polyamide. And I bought 2 balls thinking I'd need 2 balls, and I didn't. Never mind. This is a finished piece. Have I got a hole there? No. This is a finished piece. This is the love note that I did. The intention was to wear it under my dungarees, and it looks awesome under my dungarees. So it is Fibre Fox yarn, part of a discontinued series. It is Rose Garden. That's what I have left. I'm going to do some socks out of this. Absolutely stunning. And then I held it with some green. Well, this is me tomorrow. My microphone died. There's me sitting there editing my video last night, and it all just cut at this point. So here I am. I'm back. I put the same top on for continuity. Oh dear, what a palaver. And I now have Annie, who's deigned to grace us with her presence. Say hello. Hi. So should we get... she's barking at herself. Good girl, go to sleep. So should we get back to it? This top, I think I was saying that it's Rose Garden from Fibre Fox, and I paired it with organic alpaca from Chaos Yarn. Shush. You're gonna have to go down if you can't behave. I did it cropped so that it doesn't go too far down into my dungarees. It's quite nice over. I've got a little dress. I don't know if in the UK, if you've heard of Snag, I like their long waterfall dresses, and it sits just at the top of the tum. And I did the scoop back. I like the scoop back. Keep your bum warm. And ordinary neckline. No, I think I unpicked the neckline. And because I think you decrease every other, and I decreased less. It will be in my Ravelry page, but I like a wider neckline. It was a bit tight. I think I cast off too tight as well, so I got back to it. Are you gonna get down? You're actually really not very comfortable there. No. Okay, fine. Her ladyship has decided she's staying. So I make notes from the silent half of the podcast. So, finished talking about Love Note jumper. Check. Okay, next. Micardi. So, you remember from a previous podcast I made like it was kind of a pullover, just the sleeves, and it kind of, you know, went like this and around into the armpits, and it was too big and I frogged it. And I wanted to make a cardi out of it because I want to wear it at the funeral. Is the short story. I want to wear black, but I want to put a pop of colour because that's what my dad did for my mum's funeral. And he loved colour just like I do. I want to wear black because I'm sad. and I've bought all new piercings, black piercings to go in, just because I'm a grown-up goth. So yeah, me and black, you know, we like that. I love colour, but yeah, I was very goth for many years. So long and short is I made the classic cardigan. Don't think they call it cardi overseas. That's probably an English term, I don't know. Anyway, classic cardigan from Thankyou Knits. And the other part to this is that I downloaded their app. So they have an app, and there's already some free patterns on there. But if you buy one of their patterns from Ravelry, you can kind of access it via this app, have only your size on the app, and it's not very user friendly, and it took me a little while to get used to it, and it's not perfect. There's still some bugs to iron out, but yeah, you can like jog yourself on per row. The only time that doesn't work is where I currently am, is in the sleeves, and you're doing a decrease round and then 4 normal rounds, and it doesn't count the 4 normal rounds. You have to count that yourself. And as we all know, I do not pay attention. So yeah, there's been some fogging back here and there, but it is what it is. But here it is. So this is that yarn, and this is the cardigan, the classic cardigan by Thankyou Knits. And I think it's just perfect to go on over a black dress, long black dress. We don't do little black dresses. And I am just at the sleeves, so I think I probably did that yesterday, in between all the admin I needed to do for Dad's estate. So this again is held with alpaca chaos. It's actually a lot more expensive than I realised. I just, you know, when you fall in love with something and you don't even look at the price. Yeah, I did that. So this has turned out to be an incredibly expensive jumper in the end, because I needed more yarn, but I'm going to love that jumper. So next, the scarf. The scarf. I think it's in here. It is. I actually forgot this when I recorded this podcast last. But obviously I have made notes this time, because I will do it all over again. This is, I did say in my last podcast I was going to cast this on, and I did. So this is called Colourful Geometry. Don't know how to hold it best to show you. I guess like that. So you start at this corner, and then it's garter stitch and triangles with stocking stitch triangles, and you do a few rows of that and then change colour. And these are they're actually UV reactive minis that I got from Somerset Crafts on Etsy. Somerset Yarn, Somerset Crafts. It'll be in here somewhere if I haven't taken them all off. Oh no. I'll post a link, because, oh no, here we are. Somerset Yarns, and she calls this her Somerset Summer Medley. Words. Summer Medley. 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon, 20 grams per skein. And I was originally going to do it as per a rainbow, and then it didn't work out because it was the wrong quantity of colour skeins, and also I didn't want to add the green in next because I didn't like how it looked. So that's how it would have looked. Oh, let's use the other end, the non-spotty end. So yeah, I just didn't like the look of that. Don't like the green one very much at all. I don't think it's my favourite. Definitely use it, but not in this one. So the green's coming out, and I'm doing my own thing. But that's really cool. I'll get back to that once I finish my cardigan. there you are. Next up, I finished one of these socks. So these are the Nest socks by Songbird Handmade. There we go. And I put a little heart on. So it's fisherman's rib all the way down, and I had to redo this a couple of times because I didn't pay attention to the pattern. And then you come down a size and do a kind of a proper foot, I guess, a proper ribbed foot. I'd started these. Dad was coming over for lunch and he'd seen them a couple of times around, and then when he got rushed to hospital, I took this as my knitting project. And he was in and out of lucidity, but this was like a constant, you know. I'd be showing him how far I'd got. He'd be saying, oh, I remember you were doing those the other weekend. And it was kind of like a tie to normality and pre-illness. So I want to remember that. So I second stitched a heart on it. It looks a little bit like a bat at the top. I think I probably need to soften that. But yeah, I wanted to remember this sock as the sock that I knitted with my dad. And actually, when I was trying to do this shadow wrap heel, it's this one. It's very, very bad because I was catching Rose. I couldn't. He'd been rushed back to A&E at this point. And we were in a room because it was critical, and there was very little lighting, and there was no there's no signal, so I couldn't run the YouTube video. So I had to kind of guess. Well, I had to go by the instructions, which were very good because I got through it. I did it. I had to go by the instructions and not the video. I prefer a video. I learn better through the video, through seeing in person. But I got through it, and I was very impressed with the pattern writer for that, explaining it well. And yeah, with no light, it was some stitches got split because the yarn there isn't a lot of twist in the yarn. And then I'm on to the second. They take a long time to knit because you're essentially knitting 2 rows in the same place. So fisherman's rib is where you knit a row and then you come back and you knit over those stitches. So it takes longer. I'm totally going to finish those because I'm going to wear the crap out of those things when they're finished. I'm going to love them, but they are taking forever. Yeah, scarf, cardigan, socks, and then it's my elf bag. Bit naughty because it's probably not. It's probably licensed fabric. Oh, I've got further on this than I thought I had. So I've done the body and cast off. Wow. I've done it a bit shorter than I would normally, purely because after I've had my operations, and normally I'm pulling things down over my stomach, I'm losing weight quite rapidly because of my tumours, and when they're out I'm gonna be a lot smaller. So I've kind of preempted, because this is hand spun. This is hand spun Shetland. Yeah, and it's really warm, and it's gonna be a forever piece, and hopefully it'll be an heirloom piece. Not that I've got anyone to inherit anything other than my male nephew, so I don't know whether he'd appreciate that or not. But yeah, this is a special piece and I want to be able to wear it forever. So Bean and Olive by Drea Renee Knits, Andrea Mowry, who has her own channel. And I'm just going to fold it nicely, because why not? It's ever so thick. The yarn is well, the pattern's for 4-ply, but because I wanted it plied 3 plies in the yarn. No, the pattern's for DK, which is in some circles they call it 8-ply. There's different ways of categorizing yarn. So DK is also known as 8-ply, but when you hand spin yarns, the ply actually relates to how many strands you put in. So that's 3 plies in there, but it's just over a DK weight, so it's quite hard on the hands. But yeah, I'm excited to finish that. That's been 2 years already. And the plan was to make one for Annie to match, but she's not loving her jumpers as much, so I don't know whether I would. And then on the subject of spinning, I'm not going to fold all the box down again. I had it all neatly popped away for the last time that I did this exact thing, but I did a little bit of retail therapy. This, in this tiny little box, is a spinning wheel. Electric one. It's USB powered. And I went up to Birmingham for a few days to get the car MOT'd. We stayed in a hotel because I just wanted to chill out, because there's so much admin to do. When someone dies and there's no surviving partner, somebody has to do the admin. Somebody has to pay the government money to be told that what is theirs through the will is actually theirs, which is kind of annoying. And you know, you're grieving already, and it's a lot. So anyway, so yeah, I wanted a couple of days off, and I took this with me. So these are little, I think they're 3D printed, little bobbins, and they all break down. Got a little screw on ends and stuff. There's a lot of screwing. And what I did was, so when I started that being an olive sweater, the contrast colour initially was going to be this grey. And I Rolagged it all before I spun it. Stop it. She doesn't like to see yarn or anything on the television. I don't know, she must think it's some sort of tiny furry animal. But yeah, I Rolagged it. And then I saw somebody else, and I think it was the Grocery Girls, they'd put that tealy blue together with a mustard. And I'm really into my mustard at the moment, as as you can probably tell, this room is sort of going grey and mustard. And I decided to get some mustard colour, and that's what happened there. So I had this still ready to spin, so I took this with me because it was already prepared. But spinning one colour on its own is a bit boring, so what I did was I got some of this mix, and I'm not sure what fibres are in this because it doesn't say on the packet. This is the grey is Shetland, and it's the Heron colourway. And this was called like Unicorn 2 or something. I don't know if they keep their blends for long, so it might still be there, but it's ever so pretty. And what I did was I laid the Rolag out, and then I got a chunk of this stuff, spread it out, laid the Rolag on, and kind of rolled it up into an even fatter Rolag, and broke it up and spun it. And this is the result. So greys and blues, not too shabby. Love it, actually. Those bobbins don't hold very much at all, so yeah, don't expect to spin a sweater quantity on it unless you've got a lot of patience for plying it off every 5 minutes. But this is it. That's the orifice, so that's where the yarn goes in there. The flyer, a couple of clips on the flyer. One appears to have fallen off there, but yeah, there's a couple of clips on each flyer. That's what I've got left of the single ply, and I will fatten that up, do another bobbin, ply some more off. It comes with 6 bobbins, which I don't think is too bad. I wonder where that thing went. I hope I haven't left that in the hotel. That'd be annoying. There's a little threading hook attached to magnets. It's so clever. There's a little engine under there, and it plugs in via USB. So you could even plug it into the car on a drive if you wanted. And it all packs down into that cute little box. Eventually, when you've sussed out where everything fits, which I will do later. So yeah, I think that's all my projects that I'm going to show you. So I did announce at the beginning of the year that I had a couple of projects that I was going to film and upload at some point. They're still in progress. How to keep your socks up. I started it. We've hit a snafu. I'm still going to keep experimenting, and that will come eventually when I've got something positive to show you. No sock left behind. I haven't started that yet, but I'm going to. But I'm also going to buy another sock pattern because I need Kelly's Daedalus socks. And I need to make them soon because I love them. So that is Kelly from Row and Cades. She's done a pair of mosaic socks, and I'm really itching to have a go at mosaic knitting because I don't love colour work. I think I would suit mosaic quite well. So looking forward to that. She should be getting them out any day. She better. If you're watching, Kelly, I know you've got to catch up, so this could be after the fact. But, you know, maybe I'll text her and poke her. And then I've got another project that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go into it in more detail in another one. But I am going to be putting together my own advent this year. I'm not going to be buying from one sole dyer. And I think when I do the video, I'll explain the reasons why. I've had three so far. And I will explain all my reasonings in the upcoming video. I was looking at buying some bits this week, but everyone's packed up and taken all their products offline for East Anglia Yarn Festival, I think. And I can't get there. It's miles away. And I can't drive very far, and I already went away last week and Dad's funeral's next week, so I think I should probably chill out this weekend, get some more admin done. I've got his house in France to wind up as well. I'm getting through it. We're getting there. Those of you who are long-term viewers, my better fish died. I know I've shown him a few times over Christmas. Yeah, my better fish got old and died. So I'm going to be on the lookout for a new better. A nice, special, pretty one. If I actually get to the pet shop. Otherwise I'm just going to look at the tetras. That's all there is really in news. So I will sign this one off. Sorry about the snafu in the middle. So I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Like and subscribe, all that stuff, all the good stuff. If you haven't already, I really appreciate you. I really enjoy the time that I have just talking about my knitting, and I appreciate you guys being here on the journey with me. No designs in the pipeline right now. Yeah, that's all sort of taking a back seat for now. But when this is all over, I will be back to designing knitting patterns. I've got a scarf and a couple of pairs of socks in mind. Eventually, Annie's just jumped down and she's very interested in the yarn that I've just dropped. So that's going to be another job later for when after she destroyed that. Okay, I'll see you in the next one, hopefully not too long. Bye.